For most hair types, somewhere from 300 to 400 is gonna be okay on your hair as long as you're moving through the hair quickly. Sectioning is so important. No matter what hairstyle you're doing, it's going to take you to the next level because it's gonna keep you clean and organized so you don't miss anything. And it's actually gonna make you go a lot faster too. I make weekly videos, so if you want to see those pop up on your feed, then you can subscribe to my channel. Today I'm gonna show you some tips and tricks on flat ironing your hair. So obviously in this case, my hair is already dry and curled, so this would be like a day 2 case where I've already washed and dried my hair, maybe been wearing it for a day or 2, and now I'm going to be putting the heat of a flat iron on it. So you should have already prepped your hair with heat protectant and a leave-in conditioner. And if you check out the video on how to pre-dry your hair, that's gonna prep your hair nicely in terms of all your little baby hairs so that we skip putting the heat of the flat iron on those little tiny baby hairs and save them from heat damage. I'm gonna use the Ergo flat iron. This flat iron works great on everyone. I do all different kinds of and varieties of hair, long, short, thick, thin, curly, straight. And this is my favorite flat iron right now. I'm gonna turn this on and heat it up, and I'm gonna put it at 390. For most hair types, somewhere from 300 to 400 is gonna be okay on your hair without burning it as long as you're moving through the hair quickly. Just kind of see based upon thickness of hair you have, what's gonna work for you. The lower, the better, always. So if you can get away with using lower heat and you're seeing the silkiness come through, great, don't turn it up any higher. If you're seeing that it's still a little bit frizzy, you can turn it up a little bit, just try to stay below 400. So normally I would be adding section by section extra heat protectant on my dry hair. I forgot it, so I don't have it. But the one that I like to use is Aveda's Heat Relief. It's a super fine mist that you can go through and spritz on your hair while it's dry before you put the flat iron through it or the curling iron, and it's going to hydrate it. So it's kind of like a dry conditioning treatment, and it's gonna protect it from the heat. But we're just gonna fry my hair today instead. Same sectioning that I always do, horseshoe at the bottom. Then I like to twist my finger in a little loop here to hold the rest of the hair and clip it up with an alligator clip. We're gonna take that hair, split it in half, and then pull it to the sides in the front. Now we can see what we're working with. The other thing that you're gonna wanna use is a comb. I like to use the fine teeth of the comb. If it's heat resistant, that's also good, just in case you're getting really close to the flat iron. You don't wanna be melting plastic in general, but also definitely not melting it onto your hair and onto your flat iron. So let's start by just brushing through the section that we're gonna start with. We're gonna grab kind of just like a long horizontal section, and we're actually going to place the comb right up at the top of the hair. This is gonna keep it really kind of fanned out, but also detangled as we pull the flat iron through it. So we're gonna go all the way to the top, and then we're gonna just follow the tools parallel to each other all the way down the end of the hair. My hair gets pretty smooth pretty quick, but if you need to do another pass, you're just gonna do that same thing. Turn your head a little so you can see what you're doing, and come all the way down. All right, now we're gonna go to the other side, same deal. Put the comb all the way up at the top. Let's comb through it one time, just to make sure there's no tangles, because it really sucks if you start to move through and all of a sudden your comb gets stuck, and then you kind of sit in one spot. Or if you're not going through with the comb at all, and you're just pulling on your hair, you end up yanking on the hair a lot more, and you can end up kind of creating some kinks in there with whatever little knots or whatever you have in there. So start up at the top, follow with the flat iron all the way down, move really smoothly and consistently through so that you're not sitting anywhere. So right away, something I'm noticing is under here, it's still a little crimpy. So one thing I like to do that tends to work is I like to kind of tilt my head to the side and kind of see where that is. And I'm gonna grab that section and pull it with my hand that it's smoothing out that spot so I can get as close as possible to those roots and just kind of tap it really quick. And that's gonna give you a nice silky smooth finish all the way from underneath, instead of you having a nice smooth on the outside, but then everything that shows underneath still has those little kinks in it. So let's do that to the other side as well. And you can see all the way back here, it doesn't get quite as dry, so I like to kind of just tap that really quick. And you can kind of just do little taps, like grab and just tap a little bit in these areas that have a little bend still, so that you're not passing through over and over and over and over again and putting way more heat on your hair than you actually need to. So you can see now like how much nicer that looks from all the way up here to all the way down here, instead of still having little bends in here, right? So now let's work our way up. We're gonna take not too big of a section. I'm gonna go a little lower than I normally do, just so we can make sure we're getting this nice and clean and completely straight, instead of having some bend up at the root there. Here is the new parting. I'm gonna grab that stuff, split it in half, and switch into the front. You wanna make sure it's all out from behind your ears, because those are important. This is the other thing, like even if I am doing day 2 hair normally, and I want, unless these have stayed pretty smooth, but if they've gotten pretty crazy from showering and humidity or whatever, I'd honestly just take the blow dryer again, mist it with some heat protectant, and use the blow dryer to smooth these hairs out instead of going in with the flat iron, just to save those a little bit. So let's start in the back here. We're gonna turn our head, grab not too big of a section. We're gonna do the exact same thing. Place our comb parallel to where that is, put it up in at the top, and follow all the way down to the ends. Smaller sections are gonna help you go actually faster, because you're not going to end up having to go over the section as many times to get it smooth. Start right up at the top, and the best way to do this is to try to, if you have a little bit of wave at your root, try to get rid of that wave with your blow dryer a little bit at first, because it's just gonna be so much harder to go in with the flat iron all the way up at that root, trying to get any movement that close to the hairline. But all the way down to the bottom, I'm gonna comb that down. Here's where you can see a little bit here happening. So we're gonna just tap that a little, tap that a little bit. And let's get a little bit closer here. Tap that, and a little bit closer through here, and tap that. And then what I like to do is kind of grab all of that hair that I've done so far and do another pass over the ends, just to kind of smooth them together. Same deal. Pull the comb through and detangle. Put it at the top, put the flat iron right over it, follow it down the hair, all the way to the bottom, moving into the next section, all the way up at the top. Don't sit anywhere for too long. If you clamp it together, you gotta start moving right away so you're not burning your hair. Instead of going in and clamping and then being like, oh wait, let me adjust this a little bit, while you're just burning your hair up here. So we're gonna get up at the top, clamp, start moving right away, all the way down through the bottom. Let's grab it all together and just pass over that. You can see this stuff here is looking a little crazy. So we're gonna grab that. I'm gonna try to get close to the root here, because these end up getting a little wave in them, especially if you tuck your hair behind your ears. They can end up kind of having a little loop up there. So if you can get the small little section right there and just tap it. Because if you pull it straight out and really hang on to it, it's all gonna stick out in the air, and that doesn't look good. We want it to lay smooth, not just like super stuck straight out of your head. Now I'm gonna do the same thing where I kind of go up at where the roots are here, because I couldn't get quite as close. Tap there. All right, next section, guys. We're gonna go up right at our little recession that we have here. I think that's a good spot. Twist that up. Sectioning is so important, no matter what hairstyle you're doing, it's going to take you to the next level because it's gonna keep you just really clean and organized so you don't miss anything. And it's actually gonna make you go a lot faster too. So we got little sections here. Same deal. These are thinner, so I definitely wanna move through these a little bit faster because these are gonna straighten really easily, so no need to spend much time going through those. Really quick pass. You can see how I'm just following the comb like so closely. Let's do the next one. I'll just do the rest all at once. Start in the back, clip this out. The thicker your hair is, the smaller the sections you want. Detangle the comb in there and move through. Follow the comb quickly. Next section. I'm gonna actually go in this way. I'm gonna be able to pull this towards my face now, so that's gonna make it a lot easier for me to reach everything and see what I'm doing. Start at the top, pull down, detangle. Last one here, and pull down. Now I'm gonna comb all of that together. That already looks really nice. I'm just gonna go in with the comb and just smooth a little bit more. We're gonna do the same deal here. Start up at the top. Work your way down. So by taking these diagonal sections, you're kind of allowing, if you have any of this face framing, that to kind of fall in towards your face to show your hair cut off. And getting it really nice and silky smooth at the same time. Last section. So now I'm gonna comb because I can see that this isn't quite as smooth as I want it to be. So I'm gonna go over that again. Let's go over this section again too. I make weekly videos, so if you want to see those pop up on your feed, then you can subscribe to my channel. Now that I have this all silky, I'm gonna use the Botanical Repair Strengthening Overnight Serum. It can help repair split ends by 86% overnight. I'm gonna put it on during the day, and I'm gonna put it everywhere because it gives the hair such nice shine. It's meant for dry hair, so that's also nice too, to not only have something that's gonna give you a little shine as a finishing product, but it's also going to be nourishing and repairing. I'm gonna do a little bit more on the very ends because I wanna repair all the ends that I just put all that heat on. But look at how nice and shiny that made it too. And it's not super heavy. It didn't make my hair look greasy. It just made it look polished. What do we think? All right, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. I'll see you next week.